Our first item tonight is Women's History Month. It's a proclamation. The Milwaukie Historical Society, Linda Carr, will be presenting. I think she's brought friends as well. So.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Mayor, councilors, and city staff for letting Milwaukie Historical Society owners and operators of Milwaukie Museum, 3737 Southeast Adams Street, present for Women's History Month the proclamation this evening. March is Women's History Month. It is a month to reflect on the contributions women do for our community, past and present. We have been fortunate here in Milwaukie to have many outstanding women in our past who helped form this wonderful city, including, but not limited to, Florence Olson Letting, Nell Martin, Annie Ross Roberts, Mayor Joy Bell Burgess, and Maggie Johnson. We also have women now in the present who contribute work and volunteer time to continue to make this city a vibrant entity. Tomorrow evening, Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021, the next installment of the Letting Library Lecture Series, hosted by Milwaukie Historical Society, City of Milwaukie, Letting Library, Willamette Falls Studio, and Facebook group Milwaukie Chit Chat, will highlight 5 of these women in a women's conversation about community. Tonight, one of these women, Cheryl Wampler, will present a brief introduction to the Raging Grannies. Cheryl lives here in Milwaukie and was a grand granny for the Raging Grannies in 2019. Cheryl, you're up.
Okay. So I'm Cheryl Wampler, and I'm a member of the Raging Grannies, like Linda said. Linda thought that she might talk me into singing or doing something like that, but there's only 3 of us grannies that live in Milwaukie, and we're hoping that will grow. And I've brought along one other granny that will speak in just a minute, but I wanted to tell you about the organization. We're an international social activist group that began in Canada in 1987. We support peace, social justice, racial justice, LGBTQ rights, human rights, and environmental protection. And we do that through song and sometimes dance. Aging women often disappear into the woodwork, and they're often ignored and their voices are lost. One of our chants that I'm really fond of is, I don't know what you've been told. We get bold as we get old. And Raging Grannies are an organization of women age 50 and over, comprised of passionate women who want to have their voices heard. And not all members are grandmothers. Several of our grannies in our gaggle in Portland are in their 80s. We dress as stereotypical grandmothers, hats and aprons, white gloves, and our focus in the last year has been on getting out the vote, supporting Black Lives Matter, gender equity, and protesting against environmental perils. Prior to COVID, we participated in the Pride Parade and Good in the Hood Parade, Indigenous events, the women's marches, and many other rallies and peaceful protests throughout the Portland and Salem, and even Eugene area. The Portland Gaggle is the largest in the United States. And because of our size, we have subgroups who focus on social justice, immigration justice, racial justice, environmental, and gender equity. And we'd love to have more grannies of color in our gaggle. 3 of our members, as I said, reside in Milwaukie. One is new enough that she didn't feel comfortable being with us tonight. I was the sole Milwaukie granny for 4 years, and then within the last year, Kathy has joined us, and so I'm going to let her speak for a minute about her experience and Go ahead, Kathy.
Yes, I found the grannies for the first time on Facebook, and it was a video. It was a group of older women. They were all dressed in black. They were carrying a coffin, and they were doing a funeral march. And this was in honor of George Floyd and all of the people who had been killed by police. And I looked at that and I thought, this is something I can do. This is something I can get behind. This is something I can support. And they look like me. You know, they were older women. And I had been retired and helping with take care of my grandchild. And then when COVID hit, my daughter came home to work, and I was at loose ends. I had never had this much time on my hands like so many other people. And this was a call to the heart for me. And I was like, this is something I can do, I can get out. So I found the grannies on the website, and they hooked me up with Cheryl. And I went to her backyard, and we had a wonderful conversation, about the world, about the grannies, and about ourselves. And so I started participating in the different actions. And it was, as you know, last year was a crazy year. And so there was a lot to do. There were a lot of things to speak out about, and there were a lot of actions to go to. So we safely got together when we could, for those who could go out, and we did some dances, we did some actions. We did not sing because speaking out was not, part of what was going on with COVID. It has given me an opportunity to learn more about our community, learn more about the needs of our community, and to actually do something at a time when everybody was looking around and saying, this is what's happening. If you can't do something now, when can we do something? I'm thankful to this wonderful group of women who have they are graciously sharing their time, their vision, and their experience with others like myself who have not been a part of these actions for so long. And a lot of our grannies are housebound because of COVID at this time. And we did acquire a wonderful and helpful tech granny who was able to get us through actions online, which took a long learning curve, of course, like everybody else. But I am actually looking forward to meeting everybody in person someday. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl and Kathy. And you guys, if you ever get a chance, come out to one of their rallies. They are amazing. You wouldn't think, and I'm up in that age group too, that they'd have that much energy, but it's truly amazing. Just to continue, Milwaukie Historical Society believes all our history is important to tell. The ongoing Women's History Project started in 2017 will soon be available through the Society. The Historical Society recorded stories and accounts of over 25 women who created Milwaukie as it is today. Unfortunately, with COVID restrictions, the Milwaukie Historical Society Museum is currently closed to the public. However, we are available to answer any history questions. Contact us at www.milwaukeemuseum.com. Even though we separate historical months for certain segments, we are all important in our city's history, and we all make history every day. Thank you. And now, Mayor Gamba, please read the proclamation.
Uh-oh. That'll take a second. While I'm looking for it, I just want to say that I've been to a zillion protests over the last, 20 years. And almost every single one of them, the grannies are there, and I'm always so happy to see them. They're amazing. And I think Cheryl was trying to add there at the end that the grannies have a Facebook page, right? So, yes. If you're a lady over 50 and you want to get involved, that's a great way to do it. Okay. Any idea what page that's on? There we go. I think I got it. I got 6 documents open here.
I've got it on the screen for you.
Oh, that's buried behind my agenda. All right, I found it. Here we go. I gotta make it bigger. I can't wait to get back to normal meetings. All right. Whereas Milwaukee women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our city in countless ways, and whereas Milwaukee women have played and continue to play critical economic, cultural, and social roles in every sphere of the city by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside the home. And whereas Milwaukee women have played a unique role throughout the history of the city by providing most of the volunteer labor force of the city. And whereas Milwaukee women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our city. And whereas Milwaukee women of every race, class, and ethnic background served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement. And whereas Milwaukee women have courageously served our country in the national and state armed forces. And whereas the Milwaukee women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and especially the peace movement. And whereas despite these contributions, the role of women in Milwaukie, Oregon, and our national histories has been overlooked and undervalued. Now, therefore, I, Mark Gamba, Mayor of the City of Milwaukee, a municipal corporation of the County of Clackamas, and the State of Oregon, and with the full support and sponsorship of the Milwaukee Historical Society, do hereby proclaim March 2021 to be Women's History Month in Milwaukee, and do recommend its observance with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.